It is the day after Dragon Ball Super Broly premiered in Australia, for the public at least. There was a VIP screening a couple of days ago, but the 24th was the actual premiere of Dragon Ball Super Broly in Australia and New Zealand, and I got a chance to go and see the movie, and I wanted to cover it because I'm glowing about this film. It's so much fun. Please go check it out in cinemas, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. And today's video is what if Broly actually lived on Earth with Goku. A lot of people are saying that Goku should have invited Broly to live on Earth with him and Vegeta, and yeah, sure, I see why this is a valid critique of Goku's character. Goku, you know, probably should have asked Broly to go live with him on Earth to train and all of that, but I don't really care. You know, it's not really a valid, to me at least, it's not really a valid criticism. Well, it is, but it's just, not a criticism I would make. It's not a huge deal that Goku didn't invite Broly. Broly wouldn't have probably accepted Goku's offer anyway, which is probably the reason why Goku didn't invite him in the first place. But the fact that people then want Broly to actually follow through with the invitation is not something I agree with at all. First of all, Chile and Lemo state that they all gotta keep moving and Earth isn't a particularly great spot for them to live anyway, especially in comparison to Vampa. You know, Frieza's main target is Earth because of Goku, and it's just not a great place to live, with Chile and Broly there. Vampa, even though they did imply that they were going to move from planet to planet and stuff and just keep moving, if they did live on Vampa, it would be a much better situation for Broly, in my opinion. And just from a narrative point of view and just from a slice of life point of view, moving forward with Dragon Ball Super, the whole new characters become accustomed to Earth life, with Goku and Beerus and all of that stuff. That whole gag of, getting accustomed to Earth and the food and, different little things that Earthlings do, it's been played out so many times of Dragon Ball, so many times, with each different perspective, Beerus with the food and all of that, and Earth, cuisine, and Goku adopting sort of the city life in Dragon Ball and all of that stuff with Bulma, and that dynamic between Goku and Bulma. It's been explored so many times in Dragon Ball, and we had some of that in the Broly film with Chile and Broly on its own, as they were on Frieza's ship, but yeah, I don't see the point of continuing that sort of trope if Broly lived on Earth. So I feel like Broly, if he lived on Earth, I feel like that trope would be played out again with Broly adapting to Earth life and what Earthlings do and all of that, and him not being used to it, and the comedy coming from that. That's been played out between several characters at this point, and I feel like if Broly, lived on Earth, as I said, that would kind of play out like that, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So from a slice of life point of view, him staying on Vampa or him just traveling to planet, keeping safe and keeping, under control, that is the best move in my opinion in comparison to the, Broly living on Earth. So, with Broly out in the universe somewhere with Chile and Lemo, Vampa or otherwise, there's always a possibility of revisiting the character. We can put a pin on the Saiyan storyline and focus on other things in Universe 7, like what Toritaro is doing, for instance, with the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, focusing on the Kaioshins and the, titular Galactic Patrol in that arc in the manga. We don't need to follow through with Broly and put him on Earth just yet. Putting him on Earth and basically putting Broly in situations with Goku and Vegeta, that doesn't need to happen yet. They purposely put the pin on on Broly's character so they can revisit him at a later point and they can kind of focus on other things, because having two Broly storylines back to back, Dragon Ball Super Broly and this hypothetical storyline of Broly on Earth and Goku and Broly training, it's just too much Broly. And too much Broly is the same mistake that the trilogy of Broly films, in the 90s did, with having too much Broly And if Broly lived on Earth with Goku after the events of the movie, we would eventually see too much of him, which again, like I said, is the same mistake that the original Broly trilogy made. We just had enough of Broly, and it diminished his character even more. I don't want that to happen with this version, because I really like this version of Broly, so I kind of want him to be a secondary character, and not a main character just yet, and if he was put on Earth with Goku, and if he lived on Earth, that would be kind of diminished, and I feel like he would be a main character, and we would eventually get sick of him, and the same tropes will apply to Broly, him getting accustomed to Earth life and all of that stuff, and I feel like picking up the Broly storyline later, after a couple of more arcs, focusing on the Galactic Patrol and the Kaioshin, hell, maybe even other universes, just focusing on different stuff before we get back to Broly is a smart choice. So him on Vapor or another location is a good choice to make, and we can always pick up the Broly storyline at a later date. And they ended the Broly story and the Broly film off nicely with, Toriyama, always coming back to open it, as much as he wants. He can always reopen and revisit the Broly character. Also, with Broly on the move across the universe, chances are he'll end up at Vapor again, and if he did live with Goku on Earth, we probably wouldn't have seen the former that much. We probably wouldn't have seen Vapor again if he lived on Earth, because why would he need to go back to Vapor? Maybe because of Bar, but that's a stretch. It's clear that Broly has an attachment to Vapor, especially with Bar, so I would like to see that continue as well, with him at some point going back to planet Vapor and just doing adventures there. And if Broly was at Earth, and if Broly was on Earth with Goku, he probably wouldn't end up at Vapor. There's really no need, except for Bar, but I don't know. I don't see him really going back to Vapor, but if he stays, at Vapor for a bit, and then he just goes to planet with Chile and Lemma, then comes back to Vapor, that's a lot more realistic. And also, with Broly across the universe, it makes it feel more vast, like there's actually another person out there, and that's something we really need in Dragon Ball. We explore so many different universes, but it's only a taste of the universes. We don't really fully explore them, so with Broly out in Universe 7, makes it feel more vast, and yeah. And if Broly was on Earth, it's just yet another Saiyan on planet Earth, and that has been done a bunch of times, so that would be kind of redundant. So anyway guys, what are your thoughts regarding Broly living on Earth? Let me know in the comments. That's gonna do it for me. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more Broly content and Dragon Ball alike, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.